Hi guys, I think I'm live now. If you can see me and if you can hear me, please do message in the chat. If you have any questions with respect to how to make the best use of the last 4-5 days, you can always mention in the chat and I'll try to answer most of them. Please do like this stream. We have close to 30 people who are watching this stream live. If more people like this stream, then more people will join us. Then we can have a more productive discussion. Let me know what you are planning to do in the last 4-5 days to CAT. Bhuvan, hi Ankit, hi Asif, hi Parth, how are you guys? Thanks for the kind words, Tanmay. One thing I wanted to ask you is, we have uploaded 2 very useful videos last week. How many of you have actually watched them? One involves the most important 25 LRD assets for CAT. I would really recommend you to watch all 25 of them. It is a 5.5 hour video. It's a very useful video. I would definitely want you to watch it. The second one is 100 very important quant questions. So again, 100 questions which cover all the important topics in CAT. So that will be a very nice revision video. So these are 2 important videos which I would definitely recommend you to watch in the last in the run up to CAT. Hi Ankit, hi Akhilesh, hi Rohit, hi Geetika. Durga Sandeep is asking, what is the ideal attempts for each section? Ideal attempts for each section is dependent on you. I would recommend, it depends on what is the percentile you're targeting, what is the difficulty level of the examination. All of those things are the variables. But typically, I would recommend you to attempt say 2 LRD assets. Try to get 2 LRD assets correct, and quant attempt as many as you can. One key mistake that people make is not looking at all the questions. They get stuck in one question and they spend a lot of time on that question. That is a mistake that people make, because towards the end of the mock, towards the end of the examination, sometimes there are very easy questions. So you should at least go through all the questions once. So that is a mistake that you should avoid. Tanish Yogi is saying, sir, I got 49 marks in DashCat 4 and 75 percentile. Can I get 90 percentile in CAT? I think if you are scoring around say 75 to 80 percentile in DashCats, you are realistically on track to score 90 to 95 percentile in actual CAT. The logic for that is very simple. Only serious students take mocks. If you look at the number of mocks that are taken, every mock is taken by a few thousands of students. Like Krakows mocks, maybe DashCat 1, or you're talking about DashCat 4, right? So maybe it would have been taken by say 5,000 people or 6,000 people. Now 5,000 people taking a mock, a Krakow mock is a good thing. But the number of people who are actually taking the CAT examination is around 2 lakhs. So out of those 2 lakhs, the 5,000 to 10,000 very serious aspirants take our Krakow mocks. Now the remaining 1,90,000, there will be some people who will do well, but many of those or most of those 1,90,000 people are not really preparing for CAT or really preparing seriously for CAT. So it is quite likely that your percentile on the day of the examination will be better than the percentile that you see in DashCat. We have more than 100 people are watching this stream live. Guys, please do like the stream. I want to get to at least 250 likes before the stream ends. Let me first look at, let me tell you some of the mistakes that people make. I'll go through it section by section so that you'll keep this in the back of your mind. Before we actually go to the mistakes that you make on the day of the examination, let us look at the mistakes that people make in the run up to the examination in the last 4-5 days to CAT. One mistake that people make is they take a lot of mocks. Now remember that the time to take a lot of mocks is over. If you have taken a lot of mocks, then good for you. If you have not taken a lot of mocks, then that is fine. You can't really change it right now. So don't take a mock every day. That you'll feel burnt out on the day of the examination. You don't feel like sitting through 2 hours and you won't give your best. On the day of the examination, you should be like hungry to look at the paper and try to solve those questions. That is how your attitude should be. You should not feel very tired by the day the examination comes. So don't take too many mocks. Right now, today is Monday. Today is already, it is night. So I don't think anybody is going to take a mock now. It makes no sense to take a mock at 8:30 or 9 o'clock. So assume that nobody is taking a mock now. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. I don't want anybody to take a mock on Saturday. So out of these 4 days, the maximum number of mocks that you should take is 2. In an ideal situation, I would recommend you to take only 1 mock. That will be the last mock you're taking, probably either tomorrow on Tuesday or on Wednesday, and analyze it well. And other than that, just revise. Go through previous papers, go through any mocks that you have taken already. You might have bookmarked some questions or some concepts that you felt interesting. So go through them. Don't attempt any new mocks. That is the first mistake in the run up to the examination. The second thing, Sanmit Bagal is saying, both the videos are simply amazing, sir. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot for the kind words, Sanmit. For people who don't know what Sanmit is talking about, last week we have uploaded two very useful videos. One is on LRDIs. We have uploaded 25 very useful LRDIs, and one is on Quant. We have uploaded 100 very useful Quant questions for CAT. These two videos will help you quite a lot on the day of the examination. So I would recommend you to spend time in going through all the important questions that are given in those videos. Now coming to the second tip. The second thing is, many people get worked up. Many people start feeling stressed out. They start feeling anxious as the day of the examination comes closer. I would tell you that this is something that is common. It happens to everyone. If you're taking the examination for the first time, probably you'll feel more nervous. But to keep your mind at peace, everybody who's taking the examination is feeling nervous right now. Every serious aspirant is feeling a little stressed out, a little anxious. Now you should figure out what is the best way to decrease your stress levels, because if you are very stressed out in the run up to the examination, your performance on the day of the examination will not be very good. Now what are the tricks that you can do to decrease your stress? The tricks that I do, I probably will go for a run, probably I'll work out, probably I'll go for a walk. I might not watch a movie because I don't like movies, but if you enjoy movies, maybe you can go to a movie. I really like going to temples, so I go to a temple quite often so that I feel more relaxed. So if that is something that works for you, I would recommend you to go to any temple. Just be with yourself, don't talk or don't speak, but just try to collect your thoughts and try to think positively, try to be optimistic in life. Don't get into any kind of a spiral. Don't let negative thoughts enter your mind. Try to be optimistic. Tell yourself that you are going to do well on the day of the examination, because I have noticed that if you tell yourself positive things, your attitude improves, and if your attitude improves, your performance on the day of the examination will also improve. So by telling yourself positive things, you are actually going to help yourself do better on the day of the examination. So that is the second thing I would tell you. Try to decrease your stress levels and your anxiety in the run up to the examination, and try to be optimistic towards yourself. Don't think of negative things. Try to be positive. Drama Kalakar is saying, Krakow helped me a lot to cover the syllabus in the last 2.5 months. Thanks a lot, Drama. Thanks a lot. These kind of kind words motivate me to work harder and help more students. Akash Selvam is saying, sir, I scored 80 to 90 for almost 10 mocks, but now in the last 3 mocks, I'm getting only 35 to 50. What should I need to do? This is a quintessential or a signature style example of anxiety affecting your performance. So it can't happen that from 80 you're suddenly falling to 35. That won't happen. It just means that you're taking too much pressure, you're taking too much stress. So that is affecting your performance. So don't let that happen to you. The only way in which you can stop that from happening is acknowledging that it is happening. Acknowledging that everybody else also is in a similar position. And the third thing is, you should tell yourself that that is a key trait. A good manager, imagine you are working in a big company, imagine you are working in a very big MNC, you are a team leader, you have like say 10-15 people reporting to you, there is a very important deadline coming. Maybe you are going to run some marketing campaign for a big budget marketing campaign, you are about to release it. So you are nervous, but there are 10-15 people who are reporting to you who are also very nervous. Now you are amongst those people, you are the most senior guy. So you should be able to hold your nerves better. You should not show your nerves to your subordinates, because then they will completely go, they'll panic a lot. So it is important for you to hold your nerves, and a key element in that is doing well in CAT. Basically, this is something that will happen in your career very often. You will get these kind of high stress moments very often. If you are a big shot in the corporate sector, you will be dealing with a lot of stressful moments. So knowing how to hold your nerves and still perform well is a key trait to being a good manager. So that is how I would recommend you to look at the examination also. You shouldn't look at CAT as just one thing that you're going to do and after that everything will be rosy. It won't be like that. Whatever you are being tested in CAT is something that is actually important for you to be a good manager. So holding your nerves is something that is important. So you should tell yourself that if you want to be a good manager, if you want to have a good career in the corporate sector, managing your nerves is very important. Vidit Ghai saying, sir, are the 100 most expected questions for Quant actual CAT level? Yeah, they are CAT level. They are very similar and very close to what can be expected on the day of the examination. So I would really recommend you to go through all the 100 questions very thoroughly. That I think is the best way in which you can use the last 4-5 days. Rahul Nair is saying, instead of mocks, shall I give more sectionals in these last days? Either mocks or sectionals, they have to end preferably by Thursday, or worst case scenario by Friday. I don't want you to take any mocks or sectionals on Saturday. Saturday you can watch a few videos. There are very nice videos that Saili has done which involve the complete revision of Quant, LRDA and verbal. We'll post the links for the complete revision videos which are done by Saili. They are watched by lakhs of people. They are not watched by thousands, they are watched by lakhs of people. So that is a very good way for you to use your Saturday. Just go through all the revision videos. I think Quant, there are 2 videos. One is 2 hours long and the other is 1 hour long. So that is 3 hours complete, very thorough revision of Quant. And verbal and LRDA I think is 1 hour each. So overall, if you spend 5 hours on Saturday, you'll be revising the entire syllabus. I think that is the best way for you to use your Saturday. Don't get stressed out. Watching a video is slightly passive, but that I think is fine on Saturday. Guys, please do like the stream. We have more than 260 people who are watching the stream live. I want to get to at least 250 likes before the stream ends. We have only 123 likes. Guys, please do like the stream. Somebody is asking, do slots matter? In my opinion, slots don't matter. Don't let it affect you. What is normally noticed, because I do a lot of analysis after the examination is over, based on people who are submitting their mark sheets, we notice that people tend to underperform on slot 1. There are many reasons for it. Typically that happens in my opinion because people are nervous. The first slot people are more nervous. There is a lot more uncertainty. People don't really know how many questions are there, how many sets are there in LRDA. Those kind of things happen. So because of that additional stress, people tend to underperform on slot 1. But if you are a student who is going to take slot 1, take it positively. Feel that everybody else in your slot will be more nervous. So if you are able to hold your nerves slightly better, you will be outperforming all of your peers. So that is how I would recommend you to look at it. But other than that, I don't really see a big difference between the different slots. Shiladitya Brahma is saying, sir, my DILR is absolute trash. Without the first hint or the start, I have so much trouble even trying to start a problem. What do I do in this last 3 days, sir? I would recommend you to first go through the LRDAs of CAT 2021, slot 1, slot 2, slot 3. There are 4 LRDA sets in each of these slots. There are 12 LRDA sets. First finish those. You have enough time to finish them. You will at least get some confidence. That is the first thing. And you know where you can download the PDFs of CAT 2021 completely for free. You can download the PDFs on our Krakow site. You have to just Google search Krakow CAT previous papers. Once you download it, you can, I would recommend you to do at least this CAT 2021 slots, 3 slots. Once you are done with it, go through the 25 LRDA sets video that we have uploaded last week. It is already watched by thousands of students. I think more than 20,000 people have already watched it. Watch it, take your time, watch it, figure out, try to understand how I am approaching each of the LRDA sets. In LRDA, 50% of the set is done if you know how to represent the data. If, for example, you figure out that this is an arrangements question and you figure out that this is how the table should look like. This should be the first column, this should be the second column, this should be the third column. And if you are able to figure that out, 50% of the set is done. For example, if you are able to figure out that this is a scheduling problem and this is how I will represent the data. Once you figure out the best way to represent the data, you have made a big progress in actually solving the set. So if you watch this 25 LRDA videos, 25 LRDA set video, you will get a good understanding of how to represent different types of LRDAs. So definitely watch it. Tanish Bajpai saying, sir, where can I get those 100 quant question video? I think the link for the video is posted in the chat. It is also there in the description of this video, or just go to our channel or just search for Krakow CAT 100 questions. Then you will get the video link. Satyam Pasi is saying, how many sectionals one must give in the last few days? In the last few days, I would recommend you to not take a lot of mocks or sectionals. Take one mock and maybe 2 sectionals. That I think should be sufficient. Just ensure that you are spending the last few days in psychologically preparing for the examination. Don't get burnt out. Don't get stressed out. Keep telling yourself that you have to give your best on Sunday. Keep motivating yourself and try to tune your brain to perform very well on Sunday. Percentile, if there are same questions as last year. I don't know what you mean by that. In general, I would recommend you to not worry about percentiles, cutoffs. All of those things right now are just noise. In my opinion, that time right now is to focus on giving your best. By giving your best, you have to figure out what is going to make you perform well on that day of the examination. In my opinion, worrying about the percentiles last year or the sectional cutoffs or marks to percentile, all of those things are noise. They are just going to hamper your brain. They are going to clutter your brain. You want your brain to be as uncluttered as possible on the day of the examination. So just go there and try to revise as much as you can in the last few days. Utilize your time in utilize your mental capacity for that. Don't use your mental capacity to figure out about the percentiles or which college has what cutoff. Those things don't matter right now. Tanya Chaudhary is saying, shall we go through the analysis of the previous slot before we go for our slot? I would recommend you to not do that because every slot will be different. Don't get too worked up or too bogged down. Don't ask how many types of questions are there, how many theta questions are there. In general, I would recommend you to not do any of it because that will only affect your performance on the day of the examination. Just go there with an open mind and give your best and believe in the hard work that you're putting. Most of you have worked very hard. I know that. When we used to do the streams, I know how many people used to come to our streams. I know the regular people. So you have put in a lot of effort. So don't worry about how you're going to perform on the day of the examination. Parag is saying, sir, is it advisable to do new topics like I haven't done number system yet? Don't do any new topics right now because there's not a lot of time. If you feel like it, I would recommend you to watch some of the streams that we have done. For example, I have done a stream on number systems recently. If you're a premium member of Krakow, I've done a booster class on number system just last week. So maybe watch that video. You can watch those kind of videos just as a passive way in which you try to pick up some new things. But otherwise, I wouldn't recommend you to watch or learn anything new right now. Just focus on revising and psychologically preparing for the examination. Third slot difficulty level, Shubham Agarwal is saying, how would I know? Nobody knows the difficulty level of any slot. In general, don't worry about the relative difficulty level of each slot. It won't matter much. If you see, the scaling or the normalization also is not a lot. In very rare cases, is one section in a particular slot very difficult or very easy. Normally, it doesn't happen like that. Normally, all the slots are more or less equal. Some slot will be slightly more difficult, some slot will be slightly more easy, but that doesn't matter. What matters is how much effort you are going to put in on that day of the examination. That will matter more. Is it true that our last mock score is a replica of our final CAT score? That is definitely not true. It happened to me many times where the last mock I took was actually a disaster for many reasons, because I wanted to perform very well just before the examination, but putting that additional stress ensured that I performed very poorly. In general, I have noticed that there is no correlation between the last mock score and the actual CAT mock score. That normally won't matter much. You should only believe in the trend. For example, in October, if you're scoring 95 percentile, if in September you're scoring 92 percentile, if in August you're scoring 85 percentile. So if the trend is slowly improving, you can expect that on the day of the examination, probably you'll outperform and score say 98 percentile. If the trend is going down, then probably you might not do very well on the day of the examination. You should look at the trend. You shouldn't look at one individual specific data point. Okay guys, we got 200 likes. We have more than 270 people who are watching this stream live. Ayush is saying, sir, going to score 100 percentile in VARC this time. My blessings are with you, Ayush. I hope you actually do very well on the day of the examination and score 100 percentile. Tanya Chaudhary is saying, Krakow is one of the best sites for CAT. Kudos to you and ma'am. Thanks a lot, Tanya. Anu Wind is saying, sir, what do you think will be the level of the exam this year? IMB is making the paper, I guess. That I'm not so sure. The level of the examination keeps changing. It is not particularly depend on who is preparing the examination, which I am is preparing the examination. That won't really matter. I would just tell you that based on how things have been shaping, Quant is getting easier year on year, and LRDA is getting slightly trickier year on year. So based on that, I would expect Quant to be easy, and I would recommend you to put in a lot of effort in LRDA. How can you improve your LRDA? One of the tricks that I do is try to switch off in the last 2-3 minutes of VARC. If I don't, for example, try to attempt any new reading comprehension set in the last 2 minutes of VARC, because I try to get going in LRDA from the start. So I don't want to be in any time scramble in VARC, feel very drained out, and when LRDA comes, I spend the first 5-6 minutes in actually just getting started, because I feel LRDA is a lot more crucial. So VARC till the end, I put in a lot of effort, but in the last 2-3 minutes, I kind of doze off. I only attempt maybe VARC verbal questions. I attempt the less intensive things in the last 2 minutes, so that I am mentally again prepared for LRDA. So once the section changes, I get going immediately. Sanjay Kumar is saying, sir, you are making CAT look so easy, but is it really so? I am asking as a person who is going to take CAT in a week. Yeah. Don't make it sound more difficult than it is. CAT is not a very difficult examination. The only tricky section in my opinion is LRDA. Other than that, it is not a very difficult examination. You should have that confidence in yourself, and even LRDA, if you solve the previous year's papers, you will realize that it is not as difficult. You will at least be able to solve 1 or 2 LRDA sets. So again, as I'm telling you, you have to motivate yourself. You have to boost your own confidence. You have to be optimistic. That will help you. Sir, can I attempt CAT previous paper as a mock in the coming days? I would recommend you to, if you're attempting it as a mock, I would recommend you to do only one such paper. Don't take a lot of mocks, whether previous paper or new mocks. Don't take a lot of mocks. You can revise previous year's paper questions. You can look at the PDF, you can download the PDF like I told you from the Krakow website. Download the PDF and look at a few questions. That you can always do. That you can continue to do till Saturday. But if you're taking a mock, if you're taking a high stress test, stop doing that from Thursday. Dibanjan, I'm not so sure about the sectional percentiles for Blackie calls. We actually have a very nice tool about percentile required for IM calls. You can check it out. Okay guys, I'll take the last 2 questions before we end the stream. We have more than 300 people who are watching the stream live. That is great to see. Please do like the stream and ask me a couple of questions. I'll answer them and I'll do one more stream tomorrow. If you have any questions, please do ask in the chat. I'll answer a couple of questions before ending the stream. Sir, I have solved over 700 sets, but I'm still not always confident regarding DILR. How can I overcome this? Also, I'm not confident regarding tournaments and advanced DI. What can I do? See, if you're not confident after solving 700 LRDI sets, it is just psychological. The number of people who have actually solved 700 LRDI sets who are actually going to take the examination, I'm sure will be less than 100 for sure. Because 700 LRDI sets is a lot. Even somebody who's solving the Krakow daily targets every single day would be solving only around say 250 to 300 LRDI sets. So if you have solved 700 LRDI sets, you have prepared very well. Have that confidence in yourself, and you don't need to get all the LRDIs. You need to just get 2 or 3 LRDIs. So don't put additional pressure on yourself that you have to score 100% marks. You have to do well in each of the sections. Okay guys, I'll answer one last question. Sir, to make Quant's topics more strong, can I solve topic-wise questions or random questions? Do topic-wise questions. Right now, you know the important topics in Quant, right? Do arithmetic, geometry and algebra. Do those questions regularly, do a lot of those questions, and you are going to do very well on the day of the examination. Okay guys, that's it for today. I'm sorry, but I'm not feeling too well, but I'll try to do another stream tomorrow. If you have any recommendations about the topic for tomorrow's stream, please do message in the chat or please comment below this video. I'll definitely look at it and we'll decide a topic for tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in.